NVidia have finally officially announced their refresh of their 4000 series, the Super Duper Tie, and on the surface it looks like just a minor upgrade on the existing lineup, but could there be more to this launch than meets the eye? With such a dominant position in the market, why is NVIDIA bothering with this update? Let's investigate. Today's video is sponsored by urcdkeys.com. If you want to activate your Windows, you can pay Microsoft $100 or more for a Windows 10 Pro key, or you can get one from an OEM seller like URCD Keys, who have partnered with Cortex for a discount on what is already a really low price, for a total of just $15 when you use my code. The keys work globally, and you can even use them to upgrade to Windows 11. After you've made your purchase, you will find your key in your purchased orders on the URCD Keys website. Click on Get Keys and copy the key. Then in Windows, click on Start and type Activate, and then click Activation Settings. Then click Change Product Key, paste your key you just purchased, and click Next. That's it. Windows is activated. If you want Office 2021 Professional, you can use the same C25 code and get it for just under $84. URCD Keys has a New Year's super sale going on right now, so you can get even more savings until the 31st of January. A huge thanks to URCD Keys for sponsoring today's video. Check the links in the description to get your cheap OEM Windows key today. Before we look at the logic behind these new SKUs from NVIDIA, let's just go quickly over the specs. Someone leaked some supposed relative performance charts from NVIDIA's marketing. Now, I'm not sure if this is legit, but it seems plausible, so we can go with it. I don't think the final numbers will be too off. If you check Tech Power-Up's projected performance for the Super lineup, for instance, it's a bit more optimistic, but only by a few percentage points. The 4080 Super replaces the regular 4080, of course, and gets a price cut to $1,000 from the original and insulting $1,200. From the leaked slide, it gets an uplift in performance of roughly 9%. It's an improvement, of course, but I don't think it changes much. I think the people on this tier will just get the 4090 if they haven't already. The one positive thing this GPU will hopefully do for us enthusiasts is pressure AMD to bring down the price of their 7900 XTX to say $800. I doubt AMD will be that aggressive, but that would be nice. I think this price change for the 4080 Super validates what everyone said about the 4080, that it had a ridiculous launch price, and NVIDIA is now admitting as much. Is $1,000 a good deal for this card though? In my opinion, no. NVIDIA can charge whatever they want for the 4090, as that's the best, and it's the best by a wide margin, so it costing $2,000 doesn't really matter, as it's a Halo product with no competition. The 4080 Super, on the other hand, is only 14% faster than last gen's top GPU, the 3090 Ti, assuming this leaked slide is accurate. That's just not a significant improvement for an investment of $1,000. That's a lot of money to display pixels on a screen. I don't think the 4080 Super represents enough of a transformative experience to be worth it, and coming in at the tail end of this generation cycle, it makes even less sense as an investment. It's on sale on January 31st if you want one anyway. Next up is the 4070 Ti Super, or as the Super Boomer calls it, the Ti Super. It's a ridiculous name for a decent product. Going back to our leaked slide, we see that it's 11% faster than the original 4070 Ti, which is a fairly good improvement for a refresh, but this time with no price discount. It matches the 3090 Ti, which means it's about on par with AMD 7900 XT. The 7900 XT can be had new these days for $760, and the 3090 Ti on eBay, when we look at completed auctions, is selling for about $750. So for a small premium, you get all the latest NVIDIA features in a card that will be perfectly capable of playing all the latest games at 4K. If you remember, NVIDIA still doesn't support DLSS 3.5 on the 3000 series. $800 feels like too much for a mid-tier product, which this effectively is. It's a 104 die after Overall, the increase to 16 gigs of VRAM is a welcome upgrade, and I think it pushes this into acceptable purchase territory. It should be noted that these GPUs support HDMI 2.1a, so they can push 4K at 240Hz. If you've been following the CES coverage and the new high refresh OLEDs that are coming out, this is definitely a point in favor of getting this over a last-gen GPU, if you're considering upgrading your monitor to the glorious OLED life, that is. I think this is a good buy in the current market context, just about. Between the increased RAM capacity, increased performance, and features exclusive to this generation, there's enough here to warrant a purchase. It's an $800 investment for probably a year and a half worth of gaming, until there's realistically something significantly better at this tier, so that would be a long time to be waiting for an upgrade if you do need to upgrade right now. It's out on the 24th of January. And lastly, the 4070 Super, which according to the leaked slide is 10% faster than the regular 4070 and coming in at $600. NVidia claims it's faster than the 3090, but I don't see how that's possible. It's not even going to match the 3080 Ti, so I think NVIDIA is BSing on this, but we'll see. It's coming out on the 17th, so about a week from today. Is this card worth $600? If we go on Newegg, we can see that the 6900 XT is selling for $560 new, and that will perform about the same as the 4070 Super. Now you can find a 7800 XT for $510, with a new avatar game included as a nice bonus. If the leaked slide is correct, then the 4070 Super should only be about 2% faster than the 7800 XT on average. If you do want the NVIDIA exclusive features like DLSS 3.5, then I guess a $90 premium is about in line with what we've seen versus AMD for the last several years, and PC enthusiasts have voted with their wallets, saying that that's a fine premium to pay. If you don't care about upscaling and don't mind AMD's features lagging behind a bit and the less than stellar driver support, then I would say the 7800 XT is the way to go at the $500 mark, not taking into account the used market, that is. So overall, I think the 4070 Ti Super is a good launch, while the 4070 Super and 4080 Super don't really add anything to the market, in my opinion. I know people will be dazzled by the price cut on the 4080 Super, but you have to take into account who the target audience for a $1,000 GPU is, and while this is better than the $1,200 it originally launched at, I think it still suffers from the same market positioning problem. The fact that the 4090 has crept up to $2,000 and up because of AI could help the case for the 4080 Super, but I honestly don't think it will. Now, as to why NVIDIA is launching this refresh, if you noticed during the AI Ace NPC demo, one of the characters mentioned they are testing a cool game tech on a secret new GPU that's launching very soon, and saying it's already at NVIDIA's labs. This could just be a random remark made in jest of an industry so passionately devoted to rumors and leaks, but it could also be a tease to a new launch coming later this year, presumably the 5000 series, featuring new AI-based technology. It's long been rumored that the 5000 Blackwell series will launch at the end of 2024, but given TSMC's projections, it's been kind of unclear whether that would be possible so soon. Maybe the record profits that NVIDIA is enjoying from AI-related sales means they don't have to be so concerned about the cost of TSMC's next-gen 3nm chips, so they are pushing ahead with a 2024 launch for Blackwell. So that means NVIDIA needs to get rid of inventory for the 4000 series. The 4090 is having no trouble selling because of its AI capabilities, so it did not get a super variant. The 4080 was always bad value, so it's getting a refresh and a price cut. And the mid-range cards get a bit of an acceleration in sales for those who were considering an upgrade but can't justify $1,000. So this gives NVIDIA about a year to clear inventory before Blackwell arrives. Now, as far as that tease from the AI and PC, just like when NVIDIA launched the original RTX series, they had a bunch of partners like Battlefield 5 Studio and others to showcase the real-time ray tracing tech. It's possible there will be some games shown off along with the 5000 series launch that include technology like the Ace suite of AI models. So maybe some sort of RPG sponsored by NVIDIA using this technology with smart AI-driven NPCs that are aware of their worlds. Notice that NVIDIA highlighted the fact that NPCs are aware of the the objects in the game world that can be interacted with, like the bartender grabbing a drink within the interaction context. So with Blackwell, I imagine it will launch with dedicated inference hardware that will make this AI NPC interaction seamless. It just works, I'm sure Jensen will say. Another AI feature I could see launching with Blackwell will be 3D object generation in-game. So for instance, in a driving game, you can pull up a prompt and generate your own vehicle in-game. Something along those lines sounds like it would help sell Blackwell, especially if the performance increase compared to this gen is less than impressive, which is what I'm expecting given TSMC's performance projections for the updated 3nm node. So with a bunch of AI features, I'm sure NVIDIA will be wanting to stock up on plenty of 3nm chips and help partners clear the road for inventory. I think that's the reason behind this super refresh. And sadly, for the sake of our hobby, if AMD has been trailing behind every NVIDIA new feature, sometimes half a year to a year, to release an equivalent like frame generation, imagine how far behind they will lag when it comes to advanced AI features like smart NPCs. Either they partner with or straight up buy some of the NVIDIA competitors out there, or it's going to become even harder to justify buying an AMD GPU, even at lower prices. Real-time ray tracing is one thing, you can perfectly do without it, but once we get into AI that actually affects the gameplay, and NVIDIA has exclusive features there, oh boy, I think AMD will be in trouble. They haven't been taking their GPU division seriously for years now. I mean, just compare it to the effort they've put into the CPU division, and I think Blackwell could be too much of a hit if all these upcoming AI features are exclusive to NVIDIA, especially if some killer games come out that make good use of them. So if you do buy one of these super refresh cards, be aware that in less than a year there will probably be a new generation from NVIDIA being launched. Now before I wrap this one up, I'll just put up a list of the GPUs I'd recommend at every tier right now with these new CES launches taken into account. So while you contemplate that, you can also contemplate the idea of joining my Patreon and this awesome group of supporters who keep the channel going. You'll get exclusive access to the Cortex Discord server if you do. Thanks for watching, and until the next one.